and number 1 is Wahoo McDaniels.
Amen. Chief Wahoo McDaniel.
Chief Wahoo McDaniel.
That's right.
Yeah, a legit Native American wrestler. He was Chickasaw and Choctaw, I believe, from Oklahoma. A legit collegiate and professional football player, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, played for the Jets. Who's on that tackle? Wahoo! Who made that tackle? Wahoo! He was the only one, according to Ric Flair's interviews and books and stuff, that had Wahoo on the back of his fucking jersey back. I guess we go back to that AFL, Jeremy, if I'm not mistaken. But he was one of those guys that wrestled the off season and started making more money as a fucking professional wrestler than he did as a professional football player.
Well, you know, I wrestled in the first year I was playing football. I wrestled in 1960 was my first year, and I wrestled a half a year, and I played football a half a year. And every year I made more and more money in the off season, and finally at the end I was making probably 2.5 times more money wrestling than I was playing football.
McDaniel was an outspoken player who fought for his rights. Back in 1965, players were making as little as $12,000 per year. And for Wahoo, that just wasn't enough.
You know, when you got something, an ace in the hole, it's easy to say, if you don't get more money, I'll go and wrestle, because I was making more money wrestling. And where a lot of guys, you know, didn't have jobs, and they went home and worked at odd jobs off season. And, you know, they tended to have football to make a living, and that's where they, you know, and they were a little timid about saying anything.
You'd be surprised at what a man like me would do for money.
He could do it all. He ran. He played football. You know, and what a great fucking professional wrestler, a legitimate tough guy too. So.
Sportsman is really what you'd have to call him.
Yes, yeah. He could be the fucking Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year. He could be the top 10 champions that never held a major title because he could draw anywhere he went, and he was the chief. He was Chief Wahoo McDaniels. So our fucking feathers and caps and hats off to the number 1 on our list of the top 10 greatest of all time to never hold a major title is Wahoo McDaniels.
I've done everything there is to do in sports. I've been a pro football player. I've been all pro. I've wrestled. I have as good a win record as anybody in wrestling today, maybe better than anybody. But yet, no contracts for the world's belt ever come my way because I'm the good old Indian. Well, you know, I get a little tired of it. That they always say, bring the Indian along, let him drive the car, give him a couple beers, keep him happy. Then we'll never have to wrestle him, right?
Oh, Ric Flair right here.
What's the deal with you, huh? Well, I can't jump on the man when the man, at least he puts his title up and tries to defend it and gives me a chance. Harley Race puts the title up against me. You know, I've heard you telling people, you babysat me, you've been taking care of me, you want a title shot, you got it, because I never left your side one time, brother. Put it on the line. Well, let me tell you something. Every time we rode together and the people come up and say, yay, Ric Flair, you're the world champion. Oh, hi, Wahoo. You know how that's stuck in my craw? I'm going to tell you something. You know how it's stuck in my craw?
All right, now, wait a minute.
I should be the world champion, not you. I'm the one that trained you. I'm the one that did all the sacrificing. Now you're the big deal, and I'm just a little old poor Indian. You put the title up, big boy.
Put your name on the dotted line.
Well, you show me a contract.
In 2 weeks.
Show me a contract.
Put your name on the line.
Show me a contract I can write.
You know, I still wear my I Broke Wahoo's leg shirt around places.
Told me that, yes.
Yeah. And I'll go into places and people, well, who's Wahoo? And then I go, you don't know who fucking Wahoo McDaniel is. And,
you ought to slap him.
Yeah. Then I go, I'll just tell them a story, you know, well, Wahoo was this, and Greg Valentine, you know, quote unquote broke his leg, and here's the shirt as proof, you know. And, I mean, I wore it in Canada one day, and I was talking to somebody, and she goes, oh, would Wahoo have ever wrestled with Baron von Raschke? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure. I would think, you know.
Well, he wrestled everyone. He beat everyone. And to close out the show, I'm going to say real quickly, and I'll let you do the closing. I had the honors of wrestling Wahoo McDaniel. And that's a straight shoot. I wrestled him outside of Charleston, West Virginia, at a place called St. Albans in West Virginia. That's not West by God, Virginia. Fuck you. We're over here in L.A., Lower Ashland, recording today's podcast. And that's this. I wrestled Wahoo McDaniel. I wasn't a world champion. he was, or he should have been, as we're doing our podcast. The first thing we done, because I was nervous, I was scared. We did not talk before the match, and that's a straight shoot, folks. That's the way it was done back in the day. We locked up, and he pushed me to a corner, and he said, I heard Boris Malenko trained you. And I was fucking thinking he's going to take my fucking head off. So we worked. That's all he said. And we worked the rest of the fucking match. Finally, I knew the finish, and that is, the finish was this. He was going to do a couple fucking chops. I'm going to take a fucking bump. I'm putting him over. I know him there for. We had not said anything in the ring. Did not call any spots. We worked. The only thing he had said to me at this point was, I heard Boris Malenko trained you, as he pushed me in that corner from the opening spot. Then I took a couple chops, boom, boom, boom. 15 minutes later, he's pinning me, and he says to me, thank you. By the way, kid, if you ever want to get booked, don't tell others that Boris Malenko trained you. They'll stretch you. They'll stretch you. And so anyway, I put him over, blah, blah, blah. The referee come back, thanked me. That Wahoo thanked me. Afterwards, I had a chance to speak with him, and he was like, kid, if you ever want to get booked, he said, tell everyone at fucking Boris Malenko trained you, because he was a great fucking talent. And thank you for such a good match. It was so easy out there, Bobby. Thank you very much. And I know we'll forget that from Chief Wahoo McDaniel, that I'm thinking this guy's a fucking living legend, which he was, and he is, in my eyes, a legend, an icon in professional wrestling, and he should have been a champion of any major organization in the world if he wanted to be, for the AWA, the NWA, or the WWF to the WWE. Chief Wahoo McDaniel, I take off my fucking cap, my hat, my feathers, my heart to you, brother. Thanks for not stretching me 6 ways a Sunday. Thank you for letting me put you over in the middle of the ring as a professional wrestler and being a part of this great fraternity, this great brotherhood of professional wrestling. With that, Jeremy, thank you for letting me be a part of this podcast, the Bell to Bell with Bobby Blaze podcast. And I'm going to finish it up by saying, Jeremy, it's back to you, brother. I hope the fans enjoyed our list.
Yeah, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this list. If you've got a list or a couple of lists that you'd like to see us tackle, topics you'd like to see us get to, hit us up on Twitter. Bobby, what's yours again? It's at Bobby Blaze
744.
Okay, or you can hit our combined account at Bell to Bell Blaze, or you can always reach out to me at The Geekish Cast. More than happy to hear what you guys would like to hear from us and kick it around and see what we can do to make you happy. We do have some big things planned coming up. We may start bringing in occasional other people to help us with these lists or storytellings. So with that being said, Bobby, thank you for joining me again. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. I do like recording this show with you. I hope we have a very successful and fruitful future in this